To build a city, we start with a brick. Many bricks are stacked to make a wall, and many walls come together to make a building. Many of these buildings form a city. The body of higher organisms like humans or flowering plants are organized in a similar manner. Remember that cells are the building blocks of living things, so it starts with a cell. Many similar cells come together to make a tissue. Many of these similar tissues come together to form an organ, and many organs then come together to form a system. Higher organisms are made up of many systems. For instance, humans have an excretory system, digestive system, a circulatory system. These systems are formed by millions of cells that make up tissues and organs. Being a complex, multicellular organism comes with many costs and benefits. That is, the complexity of higher animals has advantages as well as disadvantages. Let's begin with the benefits or advantages. Differentiation. Differentiation is a process in which cells become specialized in their respective functions and structures. A group of similar cells are differentiated to form tissues that carry out similar functions within an organism's body. When cells become differentiated, they become specialized. So the cells found in complex organisms are specialized in their functions. As a result, there is division of labor between the cells. This division of labor affects the life processes in higher animals. The cells are more organized, they are efficient and effective. This enables them to perform their functions properly. Another advantage is size. Can you compare the size of an elephant to an amoeba? No way. The many cells, tissues, organs, and systems within higher animals makes them relatively bigger than simple or unicellular organisms. Also, the complexity of higher organisms enables them to adapt to different environmental conditions. Organisms with an increased size are able to easily withstand unfavorable conditions. So an elephant will be able to withstand flood, whereas an amoeba is highly unlikely to survive. Now, what are the disadvantages of complexity in higher organisms? Higher organisms have large surface areas. This means that substances are not able to move through the organism as easily as in unicellular organisms. So for substances to be transported, a system is required. Due to the distance between cells in higher organisms, the rate of diffusion between cells is slower compared to the rate of diffusion in unicellular organisms. Now, can you compare the food an elephant eats to that of an amoeba? Of course not. Due to the complexity of higher animals, these organisms have to feed well and obtain sufficient oxygen for survival, and they also need this to enable the cells function efficiently. Reproduction takes longer in higher organisms because it involves many cells that carry out different functions, whereas reproduction in unicellular organisms occurs fast and relatively easier. The number of offspring higher animals are able to reproduce at a particular time is limited. Unicellular organisms like amoeba and paramecium are able to exist independently, but the cells in higher organisms cannot exist independently. Each cell directly or indirectly depends on another cell's activities to survive and to function properly. We have learned that higher animals are made up of many cells that are specialized to form tissues, organs, and systems. We also talked about some advantages and disadvantages of complexity in higher animals. Go over this again, and I'll see you soon.